Hey. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to the 512 Austin crew and to everyone else who's watching. I'm Norby, excited to take you another game where it actually gets started with some good old-fashioned X-Wing Worlds prep, because we have the Worlds contest coming up in March, and it's going to be really exciting to send so many people. I think Austin, Texas is sending 8 folks, like a whole corner of the bracket. Oh, I'm so psyched. I'm not going to be making it this year. A, I'm not good enough, I'm bad, and B, timing didn't work out. But I'm so psyched to see some of my friends over here. And so what we're trying to do now is make sure we get some good tape coverage and watch some of these games so we can learn a little bit, hone our skills, get ready for that awesome contest. And so we're looking at right now is Aaron on the left, who recently got his invite at the Tribe Winter X-Wing contest, and Mark here, who's throwing some FO at him to get him practiced against some of the worst pieces in the FO. We've got Wrath, that brutal I-5, Kylo Ren, and the Silencer, the worst. Maurus with his ability to, pop a little bit of illicits and be able to do those amazing focus mods, and Breach in a bomber I-5, so able to not get initiative killed and get some of those interesting munitions off. In this case, some proton torpedoes. Yikes. So we're gonna see how this looks. I'm gonna check and see to make sure we don't have any updates we need to put on the overlay. So let me check really quick with some of the players. No damage yet to anyone? Okay, no one rocked themselves or anything? Cool. Okay, yeah, so here we go. So we've got the FO on the right-hand side, broken into 2 rough formations. On the left-hand side, we've got the Whisper with Wrath, followed up by the TIE Fighter, who's able to lob those missiles, so concussion missiles to debuff anyone, maybe looking to slam one into Dirge. And at the top, we've got the Bomber with its proton torpedoes. Ugh. So it's facing off against a bit of a swarm, and we've got Aaron, who likes to run these mini formations. So he's got Han plus Friend at the bottom, 2 really heavy, hard-hitting pieces, and then at the top we've got the mini swarm of 3, who are going to swarm tactics up all of them so that they're shooting at nice high initiative, all 5s, which is going to be really helpful because they're going to be against another pair of 5, so no chance of getting initiative kills. So we've got a lot of dice coming on Aaron's side versus some nice high agility and some nice tricks on Mark's on the top side. This is going to be really interesting. Now, at the bottom, we've got a classic 2v2 ship duel. The interesting thing about this duel at the very bottom is that Han is an enormous point tank. He's 11 health. He's got Lando and Perceptor co-pilot for some interesting shenanigans to keep him survivable. So the tough decision for Mark is, does he start trying to slam damage into Han? Okay, never mind. He's not going to do it. Yeah, and this is one of the awesome parts about this kind of setup, because it slightly baited Mark's ships at the bottom to say, hey, maybe you want to go after Han? Great. Aaron's roughly split his forces, and now you can go after him. But the thing is, Han's basically maneuverable. It's a huge base ship, or big base ship, and that bank on it really carries it across the board. So now Mark's got 2 of his expensive pieces at the bottom. He's got that Whisper, and he's got Maurus. He's got half of his list at the very bottom. Yes, dealing with Dirge, and maybe he could really put the damage into Dirge, but he really needs to start taking pieces off the board in order to equalize this with himself. So we're going to see, I'm really curious to see what Mark's strategy is here. Is he going to try to just burn down Dirge really quick, because these are pretty good ships that can do it, or is he going to try to move these ships across and just say, you know what, bye Dirge, we're going to run over and try to deal with our friends. The scary thing is that Dirge has Kylo in dead to rights range, which is really tough. Speaking of Han, not only is he a point tank, but he's an I-6, gets to slam some shots. It's an obstructed die. Oh my gosh. And then here's one of the amazing things about this Han, that even though he technically has a 2-die gun, you see, immediately just ratchets up to 4 dice because of trick shot and all of his other abilities. So let's see what Aaron's got. Because he's got Greedo. Everyone remember Greedo. And one of the things about this is also practicing your triggers. So Han knows, the Han player, he knows absolutely to make sure that he always uses that Greedo. Run a bunch of dice to the cloud. Oh my gosh. So yeah, they saved him a little bit there. But yeah, you had a huge haymaker from Han, kind of unexpectedly. At the very beginning, what is this, round 2 of this? Good Jovi. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and update that shield. So we have a shield taken off the Bomber already, which is tough. So let's see, the Bomber loses a shield. So we have that, loses a shield already, and we are on turn 2, and now let's keep on going. So here we go. So now we've had our I6 done. So now what the 5's going to do. So Aaron swarmed off his up to 5. He's got Kylo. Kylo's trying to figure out what is he going to do. Kylo, oh, yeah, so this is, who is this? No, I keep getting mistake. Oh, so this is even cooler. So this is Wrath. Wrath's got a long-range ion cannon. So normally only throws 2 dice out of that front little turret, but he can double tap. So we'll see. Let's see if he can put some ion damage into Han. Ooh, that's really not what you want. That's brutal. So, tough. Expected results 1.5 there. Ends up blanking out. But, let's see. What else do we have from Mark? Because he also, since we're balanced here, so we've got Mowers shooting his 2 dice. Is he have... Okay, gets 1, expected results. And get it. So, looking tough. Dirge is, completely escaped with no damage. He had a chance to face off with 2 FO ships and did nothing. So now on the other side, okay, what are we going to do? So he's got Wrath, Proton Torpedo, just slams it out at Quinn Jast. Here we're going to see if some of Aaron's defensive triggers can pop off. So here we go, Mark, rolling for that Proton Torpedo. Okay, not the best result. He's got the focus. Unfortunately, he's just got to spend that focus on the last 3 dice. Expected results are 1.5 hits from those, so we're not talking maybe a 3-hit Proton Torpedo, which is never what you want to see. Okay, yeah, so hit crit against a 3 agility ship. So he needs some paint, otherwise we're going to start popping shields and crits off. So let's see what Aaron's got. But he does. Let's see if he remembers his... Let's see if he remembers his reroll trigger. Surasu, and this is why he keeps him in that formation. So 1 shield off of Quinn Jast. That reroll, though, is going to be absolutely amazing later on in the game, because it's going to make those ships even more survivable than they expect. There are already 3 agility ships, and we saw how valuable elusive is. And now Aaron's like, hey, I've got an ability that just passively procs as long as I'm in range. That automatically gives all of my ship free elusive, and continuous elusive too, which is just nuts. Plus it lets them do swarm tactics, so they all step at an I5. So kind of a brutal little mini swarm up top. Okay, let's see Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's also got Proton Torpedoes. He's got the Force. He's got a target lock. Okay, so let's see what he has. Oh, sorry, we got a dice from another table. Let's see what he's got. And rolls it. And spends. Does he spend a Force for Malice? Moves into a crit, then the Proton Torpedo turns that into a crit. So we have 2 hits, 2 crits into little Quinn Jast. Let's see what Quinn Jast can do. Remember, he's got... okay, rolls with Quinn. So takes 3 right off the bat. So we have Quinn Jast, who eats it. Boom, boom, boom. Proton Torpedoes doing their job. So, yeah, blinded pilot, which is very good. This is, again, why you don't take him, you take the ships off the board, because he was killed at initiative. Still gets to shoot back, and this is, one of the points of that swarm tactics and everything, because we've got Quinn Jast at the very bottom, who is normally an I3, but did get swarmed up. Ooh, so now here we go. Dirge has a juicy opportunity to use those proton cannons and just rail into... So his question is whether he's going to try to shoot... who's he going to shoot? Whether he's going to shoot Kylo, or whether he's going to try to shoot the Whisper, or whether he's going to try to shoot... so, here. He goes ahead and takes the range 1 attack. So, Jess gets 2 because he doesn't have Fearless. And we see we've got 3 agility for Jam. And guess it. So, escapes unscathed. Now, we've got the top formation. All of Mark's ships have gone. We've successfully taken off a ship, but we're going to see what they do. So all 3 of them get to lay back into everyone. And remember, Breach has already lost a shield. However, that is Kylo in the Silencer, who is notoriously survivable. Good idea, always remembering the shots that you take, because the plasma has a chance of pulling those shields off of Kylo Ren. You can get it to land so that more and more hits end up in the juicy hull. Let's see. Ooh, looks like all paints. Oh, unfortunately, it just has the lock. Okay, just 1 crit. Odds are Kylo rolling 3 dice with the Force. Expected is like 2 evades, so he should be all set. Okay, gets 1. Yeah, scraped by. So unfortunately, burns a plasma torpedo, but it was absolutely the right shot. Making sure that he has the chance of doing that. Nothing lost here. This is exactly the situation where you want to be using that torpedo at range 3. Okay, much better. Let's see what we can do. And we might have a chance from Kylo to spend Force to avoid taking damage. And here's the question from Mark about whether he wants to preserve that Force or whether he wants to... So I think what he's doing is he's going to show you the dark side. So yep, so basically let's go through... And we have Kylo doing a little bit of show you the dark side action. So that's an interesting one, like the aggressive play, trying to make sure that show you the dark side ability procs. And yep, no, he's getting ready to throw out that crit. We have more attacks going into Kylo, though. Just one, so kind of tough one. Let's see. So Quinjast shot an ion into Kylo. Just an important thing to remember, yeah, that little ship has an ion cannon, which can do amazingly devastating things to ships if it like ionizes you and keeps you from moving across. So yeah, pretty tough. Let's see what he's gonna roll. Goes ahead and yeah, no, gets good. As long as he gets paint, he's totally fine. So Quinn, unfortunately, taken off the board. We get points. We move on to round 3, and then Turtle. We have 4 to 1. So we've got 4 to 1 for Mark for having destroyed that ship. So now, what are we going to do here? So Dirge got off scot-free, which is great. I mean, he had a chance to face out 2 first-order ships and was had a chance to really get some damage dealt into him, but, like, totally fine. He tanked it. He was able to natty out of it. Now the question of what he's going to do. Is he going to grab that objective? And is he going to try to roll after Breach? Because Breach, even though he's a bomber, does not actually have any bombs. So Dirge can maybe say, hey, I'm going to scramble and then loop left to go around that asteroid and try to get into the fight and try to take the battle to them from the rear. Because, we've got, like, almost an hour left in this game. So even though Aaron has lost a ship, he's still got a ton of tools to work with. And one of the nice things about this is, like, keeping your head up, thinking about this and saying, hey, wait a second. Dirge is, on the far hand side, but half of Mark's list is out of position. And sure, yes, he did dump 2 proton torpedoes into a little ship and torp it off the board, but honestly, at the end of the day, with an Alpha Strike that dumps 2 torpedoes into a small interceptor class ship, that's kind of what you expect. They did manage, to point the shield off of the bomber before they went, and he did successfully divide Mark's forces. So now we've got 4 guns from Aaron, converging on 2 from Mark, and one of them's a pretty, like, tiny little bomber. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see Aaron trying to make a little kill box around that bomber, quickly take those points off the table, because he knows that Kylo is, going to be really squirrely and tough to get rid of. And maybe just think, okay, I'm going to leave Kylo alone, get rid of that bomber, and then have all my ships be able to focus fire just on Kylo. And in the meantime, what he's going to expect is Breach and Malware's going to race across the table to his defense. Which kind of leaves the question for, like, what do you do with Dirge? Which is actually kind of in a good spot to hunt down Wrath. He can go ahead and maybe go left. He has a chance for being hit by Malorus, but he's not super worried. Those Mag Pulse warheads, sure, they do crits, but Dirge still has 2 shields up, so, I mean, he's not really worried from those. And even, the TIE Fighter's, like, Plinky, like, 2-die gun. Again, like, not that worried. And one of the interesting things about this is that with Malorus split up on the left-hand side, and his ability, to burn those charges and get a bunch of basically like faux calculate results. With him being split onto the left-hand side, that's an amazingly powerful ability. But if you have lots of guns on you, or if you've got some sort of attack like cluster missiles that lets you like shoot multiple times, the interesting thing is through splitting Dirge off to the side, that like sacrificial Dirge, Mark's ability in Malorus isn't really able to be used as well. However, he does have 2 ships that are in great flanking positions. That Whisper can just rocket. He's lined himself up perfectly between those 2 asteroids. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see something like, what are we going to see? Maybe a 3 straight boost jam to try to jam Han. and support, lay down a little support for those other ships, and then Malorus maybe does like a 2 bank to also try to get the action, but not to get in Dirge's way, because everything at the very bottom is going to get the same initiative. So that road roll is going to be really, really important. So we'll see how this pans out. This is going to be exciting. I'm really curious to see how this goes. So let's go ahead and see. Aaron's got some ideas. Again, he's probably going to try to make a nice little kill box at the top. We might have some of the near ships do slower turns, and the top one swing out a little bit wider to try to make that net on the bomber. Han, he doesn't want to get too... he does like doing this obstructed shots, but he doesn't want to get in the action too much. So he's probably found maybe just like a 1 straight, for instance. We'll see. Now for Mark, he's in a good position. He's got some point advantage. Aaron does have one of the objectives captured, and that one in the middle is like totally unchecked. So kind of curious, is Aaron gonna try to capture with Dirge? Is he gonna do like a 3 hard left, and then say, hey, on my next turn I'll do maybe a 2 and capture that center objective? Or is Mark gonna say, oh no, I'll go ahead and do that myself? It's gonna be tough. We'll see. But yeah, I haven't really put down this list. So we have Malorus with Mag Pulse, not with his usual clusters. We have Wrath at the top, Enhanced Jamming Suite, and the Whisper, Ion Cannon, Predator, Fanatical. So great. When Wrath starts losing those shields, he's going to hit like a truck. Kylo with Proton Torpedoes, just like slamming missiles out there. With Pattern Analyzer, Marksmanship, Malice. Pattern Analyzer makes him, lets him do those maneuvers after red maneuvers, so look for him maybe to lean possibly towards the K-turn or the sloop. So we'll see what we've got. Here we go. Oh, he doesn't have a 3 anymore, so he's got his whole formation just 3 5s and a 6, versus all 5s on the right-hand side. So yeah, that all-important road roll. So yep, we've got Mark saying, hey, I don't want to get too close because I need to use the Proton Torpedoes. That bomber's kind of just, it's out there. It's just going to try to, I guess, get in a good position where he can use that primary gun. Ooh, but this is going to be tough. So let's see. So what do we have from the very top from Kylo Ren? Kylo's got his force. He's only down 1 shield. He can really put the hurt into someone. Question is he going to take another lock and try to throw torpedoes? Because torpedoes cannot be used at range 1. So the tough part is, if he reaches out for the lock, then yes, it'd be great that he can actually shoot out the torpedo, but if it's range 1, then basically he just lost his action for nothing. He does set himself up for the lock, for the torpedo next turn, but it's a really interesting game here. Does he take the lock, or does he just trust in the force? Because, even if he has the lock and doesn't use the torpedo, he can still use it to double modify an attack. And he's guessing, okay, is Aaron going to make a kill box? So what did Aaron... Wait. What? Oh, that was the pre-position boost. And we have him going for a block. Wow. Now, what is he going to do? Is he going to capture? Is he going to scramble this? Is he going to scramble? Because if he scrambles, Aaron cannot take the scramble action if he bumps. So if he does the 1 straight and bumps into the bomber, he can't actually take an action there, which is what Aaron would love to do, to capture that back. So does he capture? I feel like if it was up to me, I would capture, because I would want to have those point advantage. And I know, but that Aaron's probably going to try to curl in and make that kill box on you. So we're expecting maybe some hard turns. Oh gosh, this is just really tough. If Aaron hard turns, and he's going to lay into you from behind, but you can probably survive it. So he spends his action to go ahead and capture. That's a bold move, Con. We'll see how it pans out. Now what are we going to do at the bottom? Are we going to hunt down from Han? He's good, so... Yep, goes nice and quick. Recognizes. Now we just heard him say, ooh, I forgot that Han moves at the same and it doesn't move yet. So, what is he going to do here? If Han goes straight, he's going to miss him. He could barrel roll to the right and jam, which is what I think I would do. I'd barrel roll to the right and jam. Maybe get yourself into a pretty good position, and then be able to lay into the Falcon. and then make it so that Han can't hurt anyone as well. So like Han can use Kylo. I don't know if the boost actually fits at this point, but that's the amazing thing about the Whispers. So they've got so many options. They've got boost, barrel roll, jam, focus, lock. Let's see what he does. Okay, just the self jam. I'm really curious to see how that pans out for him, because I personally would have done the boost, the barrel roll to the right. Okay, and we'll see what is this whole tide. What on earth? Okay, I get it. Remember what I was saying about, hey, maybe Dirge is going to try to loop around the battlefield, because, you know, Dirge was maybe a little bit worried about trying to cut through the middle in between those two rocks, because he's like, hey, maybe some of Mark's ships could come hunt me down. So what Mark is banking on right here is Aaron to just shoot Dirge straight ahead and try to curve around the battlefield and come out behind Kylo. Oh, and we'll see if this paid off. Oh my gosh, great guess, Mark. So he's facing a 3-die shot. He does have the shields to spare. The question right now is him saying, hey, do I push the button? So if you push the button, he moved last, so he's basically getting a guaranteed free point here. And next turn, of course, the TIE Fighter can maybe do a 2-bank left, clear that stress, and then be able to like hunt him down. If you barrel roll, yeah, that's what he's saying. So if I barrel roll back, I'll get out of arc. But then basically he won't do anything. He'll basically say, I'm not going to get any shot. I'm not going to score any points. I'm at least, you know, not going to get shot. Oh, the question is actually whether even that barrel roll does get him out of arc. Because it's kind of a little tough, and I think that's what he's doing. He's standing up, getting a second position at the board. Yep, that's exactly what you do. You know, you pull an Andrew Wiggin, you look around, you go left, you go right, you try to figure out, like, hey, what angle is actually the correct one for me. So, what is he going to do? He's trying to figure out. Yeah, this is a great decision point. Oh yeah, and here I'm trying to go through his mental decision tree. He's like, I'm already behind, and so he's like, okay, I want to bring this game back to the middle. Yep, he doesn't want to be stressed, because he doesn't, because it has a red barrel roll on that ship. So yeah, so he's feeling like, hey, you know what, maybe I'll be able to weather this and survive. I'll just, you know, count that at least this turn guaranteed the ship is getting 1 point as opposed to like doing 0, because there are no half points in this format. So, and Dirge is also in an amazing position to run away, which he's got to be thinking about. I don't know if Aaron's considering this, but, you know, next turn, let's say maybe he does take like a massive amount of damage. Like, let's say maybe Malorus rolls like 3 crits and Dirge totally blanks out and just, terrible damage. He keeps going ahead a little bit, and he can like run down to the bottom right of the board and just, you know, loop back around, and just, it'd be kind of hard for Malorus to hunt him down. Yeah, he does have those Magpulse missiles, but no, you know, Dirge would be pulling, you know, a full quarter of Mars' ship away. So what are we gonna do? So yeah, we've got that kill box being built. Now, Breach did that amazing move where he got out of the way of everything. You'll see he's effectively dodged all of his shots. It does mean, yeah. Okay, and then we've got Kylo at the top. It looks like Kylo just did something straight, I think. And Han, did he do the one straight? Ooh, he did the bang, trying to curl on in, but he just ends up thumping right into tough. And yep, he's having to do the train track because he's not going to be able to completely film that maneuver. So he's going to go ahead and get a little bit forward, hit that ship, not able to do anything other than the focus action. However, that Perceptive Co-Pilot really makes those bumps not feel as bad, because Perceptive Co-Pilot means he can always take 2 focus tokens whenever he takes that bump. Because normally what it basically does is every time you take a focus, get a second focus token. So even though it's a red focus, yep, still gets the doubles. That's great. That's amazing. We'll see. Go for it. Okay, so he takes those dice. And now basically what you're seeing, by the way, he's got dice markers instead of tokens. It's part of his MO, it's part of his game style, it's just the way he runs it. You know, it's a cool way of keeping track of all your tokens. It keeps his game state nice and clean. So now we're going to see. Go ahead and check arcs. Unfortunately, we have Han was successfully arc dodged by that amazing bump. So now we go to the rest of, it flips back to Mark. Yeah, so now we see what goes on over here. So what do we have? Let's see what. So what are we gonna do?
So what is the if you're stressed?
2 straight.
Which would have made me not flip either.
Yeah. Yeah, so in case anyone's wondering, hey, what's going on? Why isn't people getting it? So we had some really great sportsmanship over here. People figuring out, oh, wait a second, I still had a stress token, so I could not have done the swoop. I don't have a card that lets me do anything like that, which means he basically pulls it back. Now, fortunately, the default is if you accidentally dial in a red maneuver, you simply do a 2 straight, which, actually is not a bad position for him to go to. He does hold on to his stress, so it's not like he can take any actions, but this is really important because this means that Aaron's maneuver is completely different. Aaron doesn't get a chance to flip, but he also is safe because he's now just taking a range 0 2-die unmodded shot, which, is awesome. So they're just, banging into each other and basically taking each other out of the game. So question is whether he wants to take the stress and focus. Now, this is really interesting because personally, I would not have done that. Well, because you're probably going to get 1 damage. Yeah, so the question is, because you want to open your dial up for the next turn. Although I don't remember the dial on the ship. If the dial it's actually not that bad, then you should be okay. So we're going to roll the range 0. And I guess this is why Aaron did that, because he says, hey, actually that's a really good idea. He says, hey, I've already lost the ship. I can't play the dice game and, just hope that I don't take any more damage. I don't want to risk getting damage. He's like, ooh, do I spend the focus or do I not? Oh, you spend it. Yeah, no, perfect. No, go for it. And he spends it to basically turn that attack off. Awesome. Didn't lose a ton of time. So now we have the butt shot coming out of Wrath. Wrath with his rear face. Is he able to do it? No, if you ask me, that looks like wishful thinking. I don't think he can. Can he? Really? Can he, Ion Han? Okay, now we've got... So now we're trying to help them figure out whether it's an arc or not. So trying to guess where that arc is to see whether it gets Han or not. Do you want a quick arc check?
It's hard because it doesn't have that.
I think we really do need Are we just gonna swap it for something magical?
What's the name of the original Luda Boys, the original pirates that's like a squad? Oh, Fungus?
Yep, I brought that laser out just for Junie, just to kind of trigger him. Thanks, Dad. Love you. So yes, here we go. We have Quinjast going ahead and taking the place of Kylo because there was that misprint where the original Whisper cardboard printing did not have the traditional arc, which was, just kind of silly because they technically still have a turret. So even if they don't have a classical fixed forward arc, and we have a whiff. Rough. I think that's the second whiff. Oof. That's tough. Expected results 1.5. Yeah, those dice getting pitched. They're done. They're getting melted down. So what do we have over here? So, we've only got one shot, so Breach is just going to shoot Han. Why not? No mods, so just going to roll naked dice. Okay, one crit. We'll see what Han can do. Han does have the double focus, and he's got... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Han does that little fancy reroll shenanigans to basically say, no, I do not want to crit. I've got 3 shields. I do not want to take it, so that's it. He's good. So we've got Kylo next. Now, what's Kylo going to do? Kylo is going to think about whether he can still try to hunt down that bomber, which does make sense. The bomber's the one that's on a lower agility, and so we got 2 agility. It's got 1 hull, 4 hull, 1 shield, and it's worth, a solid 5. Oh, sorry, he's not shooting the bomber. He's trying to figure out which of those 2 other ships he's going after. So what is it going to be? The Y-Wing is tough because the Y-Wing doesn't have has a ton of hull agility. So what's he doing? So yeah, so he really has, yeah. So if he rerolls all of them, the odds are 1 hit out of those 3 are 1.5. So if he rerolls those 2, he's basically guaranteed. Yeah. The math says it's kind of close. Ugh, brutal. So I think if I was him, you spend the force.
You want to use the malice, right?
Yeah. You spend the force.
If it lands, yeah.
So yeah, he's trying to see if he can get that malice combo to go off so that he gets way more force back. And Tough is able to natty out of that. And tries to go for this area. But hey, he's remembering his triggers. So unfortunately, we have torpedoes down on Kylo, which is really brutal. I mean, you're expecting to get way more damage out of that. Tough luck, Kylo. Tough luck. So Han gets a chance to... I guess Han never shot... Oh, no, Han didn't have anyone. 1 crit. Coming back into the TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter, it's got 3 agility. No mods, but expected is at least 1 evade, so I don't expect him to get hurt. Yeah, now he's safe. So now, let's see. So, is he gonna try to... He's gonna try to hit... Is he gonna try to hit Kylo, or is he gonna try to go for it? Yeah, best shot is against Kylo. He's like, it's got even more dice.
3v3 or 2v2.
Yeah.
And they're equally damaged, right?
Yeah. So Aaron's trying to figure out, okay, which one's worth more points? Yeah, I get it, because he can really change Mark's playstyle if he's able to successfully land some hits. Oh, okay, so that's 2. Kylo's expecting to get only 1 evade. Okay, yep. So Blink's down 1 more shield off Kylo. So Kylo's, not totally, really scared, but he's definitely taking a little more damage than he would like. I'm losing all his shields now. He doesn't have Fanatical, so, that basically just means that he's, down to 4 hull. He's the equivalent of a good old Nantex at this point. So, oof. Hang in there, Kylo. You got this. We're about to go into turn 4. We have 2 buttons to Mark and 1 to Aaron. So we have 6 to 2, and moving on to the next turn. First, we got our 10-minute timer going on. We're playing a bit of an accelerated game over here. So trying to see how Mark could pull this out. He's got a bit of an interesting case. He's up by 6 points to 2. But if he loses a ship, kind of loses 7, Malor's 3, Breaches 5. If he loses a ship, this game can really, really swing. Because if he loses his least expensive ship, Malor's, Aaron goes up to 6, Mark goes to 8, and it gets it really close. So we have to start thinking about win conditions right here, right? Let's say maybe this is the end of the game, and that you're really getting low on time. You're like, okay, how do I win? Aaron says, I can't kill Malor's. Malor's is not enough points. But if I kill any other ship, I immediately get 5. So maybe he's going to say, I'm going to try to hone in on Breach. because, Breach should be pretty realistic. Now, the tough part about that is Han's in a rough spot, because Han would love to get his guns on Breach, because Breach is facing him. If I was Mark, I would say, okay, maybe Breach is going to, I don't know, maybe go 3 or 4 straight to try to get on the other side of Han, or maybe do a 3 bank to get on the other side of him, just to make sure that he can't get hit by that dorsal. Is Han gonna do a hard or maybe a 2 bank, just kind of get into the middle and still try to get that rear cannon on? But if he does that, then what are the little ones in the middle gonna do? So we're gonna have Sarasu maybe do a 1 hard or a 2 hard to try to go after Breach. Or we do the same thing with Lima. Is Lima gonna also cut left? Because then Lima could do her plasma torpedoes too. That plasma torpedo would work really, really nice into Grudge. So yeah, we'll see. We'll take a look at this. So now we have almost sitting there tiles. We've got 4 ships, 4 ships. Aaron's got to start thinking about, hey, am I going to be using any actions on scenario actions? If Dirge maybe does a 2 hard or something that lets him take that token at the very bottom, scramble that one, he'll start getting some points, which would be great. He does have to worry about maybe Maurus, due to a road, being able to move on in and just capture it right after him. But he can't really count on that. And Maurus is at full health, so Maurus might be just rolling on into the middle of the board. At this point, given the amount of time that we have left, it's very unlikely that Han is going down. So Aaron has to know, okay, Han's totally healthy. I don't have to worry about Han exploding or anything like that. And Mark's going, okay, shots into Han are wasted shots at this point. What ship can I practically take down? Can I practically damage? Sorry, 1 minute, I have to go I'll be right back. Here we go, I'm back. So we're going to see where this goes, because we've got really big decisions to make. Aaron's going to try to figure out, okay, how do we come out from this? He kills the ship, he immediately gets back into it. How does he kill Breach? He's got 2 ships. He knows Kylo, and we're at 7 points. Kylo would be a godsend if he's able to do it. This question is what does he do? Is he going to try to case some of his ships to make a net for Kylo, because he knows that they're all the same initiative, and so there's a chance Kylo can't reposition, or is he going to go after Breach? And then same for Mark. Is Mark going to say, hey, I'll make sure I don't lose ships? Maurus will maybe try to put some hurt on in. Okay, here we go. So, first player goes to Aaron. Ugh, this is tense. So we're going to see how it goes. So Aaron's ships all move first, which does mean that Kylo's going to get his double reposition off, and you can get the Whisper that's also able to do its position as well. So, so what happens? We'll see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so what I was thinking, is he going to do a 2? And yep, he is great. Oh my goodness. So he does contraband cybernetics, which lets him do actions even while stressed. And good heavens, that was a gorgeous Talon roll. Gets double stressed, but you know what? Again, he said, oh, I'm never going to have an action again. But hey, technically you can't, you're not really supposed to do a lot of game timing and everything like that. But this is a case where, hey, you can still be aware of how much time is left, roughly using your own intuition and your own estimations. And so here he's saying, hey, yeah, game's going to an end again, because we're playing abbreviated ones here. So I'm going to do best of both worlds. I'm going to get myself into a position where I not only capture this, but I also set up a chance to just proton cannon the death out of Malors, or at least scare Malors enough to where Malors can't, run away with this. So here, what do we do? We've got 5 minutes left in this. And now we've got Aaron trying to figure out what I can do next. He also, really interestingly, by setting Dirge up that way, if Breach does that 3 bank left that I was talking to you about, there's a chance he gets an arc. Yikes. And then even though, it's a really long-range shot, still technically Dirge can put some shots into him. So here goes. So let's see. What do we got? So we have the little one. Okay, looks like game plan is kill Breach. Got it. So he goes after him. He gets one. We're probably going to see the same thing from the... he tried to reach for it. But no, that he was just measuring. So turns out his intuition was great. He was doing the same thing. Aaron practicing those formations, getting all the guns in. He knows the bomber's going to have a bit of a tough job. He knows that the bomber also has to go through Han. So unless the bomber really wants to stay there, which he probably doesn't, he knows that he probably did a 3-speed or... Ooh, what's he going to do? Okay. He's trying to reach for an action. Tough. Okay. So he goes 2-1 this turn. He was trying to go for the amazing 3-0, which is kind of an interesting way to think about it, because if he goes 3-0, he doesn't get any actions, and he's just trying to go, okay, maybe am I just going to blow away Breach just with my own, natural dice, or he could have said, hey, I'll take the focus. Oh, so this is the tough part about random order. Is he going to take the objective? What is he going to do? Okay, so we're trying to figure out what's our maneuvers here, because he's gone ahead and gone forward. What he's trying to figure out is whether he can get... Ooh, what on earth? What is he doing? So, okay. Oh, no, he barrels in so that he can start shooting Dirge. So the interesting thing here is that he knows that he probably doesn't have enough time left on the board to kill Dirge. So at this point, he's saying, hey... oh, sorry about that. So let's see. So we have the Whisper coming on in, getting ready to shoot. Okay, so what do we have to Whisper do? So he's ran on in, awesomely placed maneuver. He's ready to face off against that little ship. Maybe strip some tokens off of it, but he doesn't want it to die. The real question is, what's he actually going to go for here? This will be a tough one. So he's going to... is he going to do a reposition, or is he just going to do a jam? So if I was him, I would be thinking, I don't want the Falcon to be able to get its haymaker off. So do I jam the Falcon, or do I jam the little ship in front of me? I think his best move is to jam the Falcon, because it is on 5 health. It can do a pretty good job. Worst case scenario, he gets both of his shields knocked off, and he's got Fanatical. He has Predator lined up on the little ship anyways, and his Bullseye, so he's pretty set in terms of offensive mods. I think jamming Han would probably be my choice. Instead, he goes for the self-jam, which, does increase his survivability. But, interesting. Oh my goodness. And this is glorious. I don't forget that those bombers had a 3 swoop. This is amazing. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Because now he's actually getting him into the fight, and we have a chance of that ship actually getting a chance to lay into poor little Sarasu, and especially if Malors pops his charge, which, it doesn't make sense for him not to do it. Now there's a chance, it's probably outside of range 3, but there's a chance we actually get 3 of the First Order's guns on Sarah, so, and depending on what Kylo's doing, maybe it's the same thing. Good jumping Jovi. It looks like we are. Wow. So, yeah, good heavens. Now he did wind himself up in Han's bow tie arc, but that depends on where Han's going to do. And then Kylo, let's go, Kylo. What are we doing? Are we going to slam into somebody or are we going to get a chance to get our actions off? Because Kylo is starved of proton torpedoes. Like, no more torps for that little guy. Oh, no. Okay, so Kylo does look like he's going to be able to get Sarasu in. So now, if he knows that he's not getting any shots, the question is Kylo going to be aggressive? Because Kylo knows he's only taking one shot from Han. So is he going to take the target lock? That's what I would do if I'm being aggressive. Now, ooh, this is really interesting. He's going for the barrel roll. He's going for the barrel roll, which gives him marksmanship. I'm really curious. Maybe he did focus barrel roll. And the reason that Aaron's trying to say, hey, do you really want to do that? It's because Aaron's Han will automatically get an extra die if he is stressed. So now Han has a chance to maybe do a real big one into Kylo, but it's really all right down on what Aaron dialed in here. So we got a little kill box, we got an amazing kill box set up by Mark. And Han, just 10 out of 10, beautiful. And this is a great part about like board management and time management. He is pointing his ship away from from the center of the board. He's like aiming off the board edge. But again, looking at the clock, recognizing how much time is left, thinking, hey, I'm actually probably going to play any more rounds after this. Like, this is literally going to be the end for me. So he can think about, okay, what do I want to do here? He can range one stress blast into Grudge. He can also shoot Kylo. So the question is, what is he actually going to do? So now here you go. This is great. He's trying to do a little bit of math about like what's actually going to figure out the win. So I think what he might be figuring out is like, does he capture? Does he? So I'm trying to figure out what is he thinking. Does he double focus? If he pushes the button, he automatically gets another point. So he's going to get. Yeah, Han is no way dying. Han's not dying. Because if he pushes the button, he goes up 3 points, and Mark gets up 0, and then he has to shoot something, and so he has to basically say that, so he pushes the button, and so afterwards, this could be some really interesting math. I think it would be a great video for us to revisit later and figure out, like, what was the real decision tree here. And obviously, we're playing for fun, so we don't want to, hold each other too late. But, there are a certain amount of time, and I think this is a great chance for us to figure out, okay, I push the button, I get X many points. I have to kill one of these ships. This is what they will get. I think this is a great chance for, doing a little bit of mental drilling about what this could be. I'm really curious to see what actually he gets from this, about whether this was mathematically the right call. So some people who are watching this who can do that math really quickly, go ahead and do that. But let's go. Pom, pom, pom. Han is shooting naked dice now. Let's see what he's got. He's our I6. He's going to shoot into Grudge. He's doing 4 dice in the call or 4 dice in the Grudge. I think just because he's got so many guns going into Grudge, I think he has to go into Grudge. Even though Kylo is more expensive, yeah. I completely agree. I think that's what he's going to roll 4 naked dice. Here he goes. 4v2. So, spends Greedo for hit, crit. Okay, actually has a chance to put Grudge down. So, 2 crits into Grudge. So we have Breach and Panicked Pilot. So now we are at 3. So now he's like, okay, now it really makes sense to go into Breach. It's got way fewer agility. It's only got 2. You got to do it. He's got to do it. Unfortunately, he couldn't shoot first with a plasma torpedo. But he's trying to figure out what is he. Okay, he's trying to think for a second. Is he thinking Mag Pulse? Is he thinking Lena's plasma torpedoes? Because plasma torpedoes is a 3-die attack. Yeah, he's like, yep, Mag Pulse would do a crit. 2, and then it'll be in Rima to put the nail in the coffin. So the tough part is, does he just have to go for his primary attack? Or does he go for Mag Pulse? Yeah. So here we go. So it has the focus. Rolls the other 2. I think he needs to spend that, yeah, because he needs to make sure that he capitalizes on this attack. If Dirge natties out, then Dirge, it's a way better chance of living, but we'll see what we've got. Okay, Dirge only has 1 evade, so he's about to take 1. Yeah, so it takes crit jam to point on Breach, and we'll see what the crit is. We'll see what the crit is. What was the crit? Got it. Okay, and so we now got Aaron's last shot. He can't Plasma Torpedo because he doesn't have the lock. So we'll go ahead and run through. Okay, 2 hits. If we see a blank out, if we don't see an evade, if we see no evades, and this is it. Let's go. And there we go. Pure skill, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, we had Aaron play the dice game and won. So we have Breach get pasted. And then we have Dirge to shoot Malorus. Fearless will trigger because he's in the front.
I'm guessing you're going to get 1. Fearless, I used an upgrade. You did.
Yeah, so he's good.
Even if I had a focus, it still wouldn't be on. Alright.
So we're at 7, but now we have the chance for shots back. Because now, even though it's 7-6, we do have some points going to. And Aaron, do you own all the scramble points?
I have 2.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yes, so it's just 2-0. So it would be 2-0 scramble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if all my ships survive, then I win.
Got it. Okay, so this is yeah.
So that's 5 points.
Yeah, so we're trying to Mark's the one who's doing some mental math right now because 2 points are going to Aaron. So now he's trying to think he's got everyone all right into that portal ship right there. Yeah, okay, whatever, gets it. Automatically changes to do. Yeah. Well, Natty's out of it. Nope, no big deal. Disrespect. Okay, so now we've got 3 ships all aimed at poor tiny little Sarasu. So let's see what Sarasu can do. So he's going to 1 die into Sarasu. Oh, for a crit. Okay, gets the hit. Yeah, now Sarasu does actually have a token, and so should be totally fine. Yeah, okay, so he's got 2 great shot chances to kill Sarasu. So what do you see? We've got Kylo and we have Rima. Oh, sorry, we've got Kylo and we've got Wrath. Here we go. So Wrath. Yep, he's got him in bullseye. So rolls 3 die primary. Okay. He's got Predator. There we go. Let's see what Sarasu gets. Sarasu takes shield crits. never mind. He gets shown the dark side. So panicked. And now we've got Kylo's shot. So this is how it... Oh, so we've got a double... yeah, so unfortunately... Yeah. So the question is, what does he do with that I care?
I don't think you're gonna kill either of them. No. You're just firing
Okay, so we got hit, focus. Okay, so it takes one.
Alright, and Kylo, take out. Sirasu.
And Sirisu's on 1?
2.
2. So we've got Kylo with 3 dice. Into. Here we go.
You don't need
Oh
it.
my gosh. Ugh, okay. So we need some paint from Sirisu. There you go. 3 dice. No mods. He needs to reroll. If he gets... Okay. And that's Sirisu. Sirisu dies. 2 crits. And something else. Yeah. So that ends it. So we lose Sirisu. So we've got Han Solo, Lima, and Dirge versus Wrath, Kylo, and Malorus. And there we go, our first one. It was tough. Good heavens. Really tough losing Queen Chaz at the very beginning round, but you know, that's what the Proto Torpedo double mod does. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Really nice seeing everyone, and yeah, we'll see if we can get one more for you guys. Thanks. Bye.